All right, if you don't mind, the way I feel at home is I'm going to address you the way I'm used to speaking in front of crowds. My name is Rich, and I am an alcoholic. I've been sober 3 years, and don't clap for that, I'm a quitter. A lot of people though ask me, like, what made you quit? What made you quit? Well, easy, I got divorced. And they're like, are you sure that alcoholism isn't what got you divorced? No, that's what got me married. And it worked for 9 years, because I knew my place. Mouth shut, and I nodded and agreed with everything she said. Even the time when she wrecked the car. I wrecked it, but somehow I think it's your fault. Eventually, I quit working, so I had two options. Number one was sober up, and when it comes to the marriage, let the chips lie where they fall, or meth. After a hard decision and 4 weeks of thinking about it, I decided to sober up. The thing is, too, is there were signs. There were signs about maybe quitting drinking. And the first one was when you go through a brew-through, and the owner not only knows your name, but gives you a hug and thanks you for putting their kid through college while your daughter is wearing hand-me-down sandals in January. Something to think about. Another is when you have to put in over an hour of prep work to drink, you might have a problem. For me, I would black out and walk the neighborhood naked, so I would spend an hour barricading myself in the house thinking that I was getting one up on the creature. So I would use furniture, kids' toys, the dog, whatever it was. Again, something to think about. And then, if you have to go every weekend to Home Depot and you go to the employee and say, hey, I'm looking for a tarp. And they say, that's great, what size? And you look to your wife and say, what do we have, a queen or king size? So after my divorce, I didn't date for a year. I just, too much going on. So after a while, I said, hey, I'm gonna jump in this game. But I was like, how do I do it? I don't drink anymore, so I can't go to the bar and wait for everyone to get drunk and take them home. That's kind of frowned upon now. Kind of like crapping on the street. Yeah, it's illegal, but it's more frowned upon. So I jumped on the online dating, but I wish they really would have given me a college course on it. Like for instance, if you come across a profile and it has one picture and it's heavily pixelated, chances are it's some guy named Sergey trying to get your bank information. Don't get it. If all her pictures are taken from way up here, she's using something called perspective to hide something from you. If she has in her profile that she's drama-free and easygoing, she's batshit crazy. If her first line in the profile is, I'm not here for hookups, I'm looking for love. Gentlemen, swipe right, she's a whore. I wonder how many women are pulling out their phone. That only happened 7 times. I actually I had tried that joke out on a girl I was seeing, and she goes, said in my profile I was easygoing. I go, yeah, I know, that was my creative way of saying peace. So the thing is after 7 dates, I realized the kill switch is telling a woman that you're an alcoholic and you don't drink anymore. I'm telling you, they don't want anything to do with you. So I would go out and I would avoid it at all costs. And they'd be on their second glass of wine and I don't want to drink alone. And I'm like, I did it for 20 years, you'll figure it out. So eventually, I tell her I'm an alcoholic, and she's like, oh, well, that's good for you. I don't want to impede on your journey. That was you. I couldn't do it, but that's good for you. When in her mind, she's saying, fuck this clown. I want to go and debaucherize all over town. I can't deal with this Mike Seaver growing pains looking one. Then she gets that magical call or text saying, oh, I just got called into work. You're not going to believe this. No, I don't. I'm a nurse. It's what we do. I'm pretty sure you work at Walgreens. She's like, I hope you don't mind. I was like, I hope you don't mind paying for your meal. She's like, oh. And I go, yeah, you're paying for that. You got the surf and turf. It's $33.94. I'm gonna have to get a job on a paper route to pay for that thing. I don't even know you. You took 2 bites, asked the server to take it from you. You didn't bother asking me if I wanted to take it home. I'm a single guy, eating top ramen for the last month. So much so, I'm farting out pure sodium. I can salt an entire driveway. So you're probably asking yourself, Rich, with all these dates that you went on, did any of them work out? I'm glad you asked that. One of them did. I matched with this beautiful woman. She was tall, fit, gorgeous. I had to impress her. So she agreed to go out with me. So I wore this nice button-down shirt, slacks, no pleats, and I made reservations at the fanciest restaurant I can think of. So there we were at Texas Roadhouse. I sprung for the fried pickles. Kosher. I want her to know I was cultured. And we've already exchanged pleasantries. I've regaled her in a tale or two, but I guess I was asking questions that I should have known the answer to. And she goes, "You did read my whole profile, right?" And I'm like, "You bet your damn getaway sticks I did." She goes, "Then you saw the part where it says I'm transgender?" Oh. You know, I'm starting to sweat more than a pedophile getting his cheek swabbed for DNA. I'm like, it's so hot here. You think they can open a window or something? She's like, "It's January. They're not going to open a window." So I'm freaking out. All her text messages are starting to make sense now. She watched Family Guy every night religiously. Big UFC fan, followed it. In fact, her brother was a UFC fighter. Bitch could dunk a basketball and send me a video. I know. And so whenever I tell this story, everyone's like, "So what happened?" I was like, "Well, she got the 16-ounce sirloin and a loaded baked potato. I got a side salad." They're like, no. So what happened? I'm like, "Oh, well, she paid for the meal, walked me to my truck, opened the door, made sure I got home safe." So, quite honestly, I'm getting kind of sick and tired of hearing that chivalry's dead because it's obviously alive and well. Guys, thank you. That's my time.